Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Boy, I'll tell you what, it is hump day. We actually made it middle of this week. Guys, with all the stuff that happens in this space, the volatility, the up, the down, the sideways stuff, you have got to make sure you take time to give yourself some headspace. Isn't that the truth? And that's why I really love coming out here, doing these videos, doing my walkabouts. And boy, I'll tell you, what a beautiful, beautiful day. And the flowers are just smelling great, just clear blue skies. It's really something. I hope wherever you are, you're having a fantastic day. Well, guys, the article that I was reading this morning, I'll tell you what, this one's going to affect a lot of us and a lot of small businesses in a big, big way. And it's coming out of New York City. So this article out of New York City is talking about, a big time change on the short-term rentals. And what we're talking about there is Airbnbs. Now, we all know Airbnbs in New York City is absolutely massive. I mean, you got a lot of people that go out there for, short-term business trips, of course, a little bit of vacation, that kind of stuff, weekend things and what and all that. And so there's a lot of big-time short-term rentals because the hotel rates are just really ridiculous and stuff like that. Well, now what's coming out is New York City is laying down some rules that could literally cause Airbnbs to be absolutely wiped out in the city. Now, guys, I'm going to have to read this out because the rules are kind of wild. And I got it here on my other device, so just give me a second just to see here. Okay. So these are the deals that they're putting forward, and this is what's going to change because this is a new regulation, and it's a local law 18. So for those of you that need to go look it up, I'll tell you what, here it is. So limits on guests. Short-term rentals can accommodate, get this, no more than 2 paying guests at a time, regardless of the property size or the number of bedrooms. Well, that's going to be pretty wild. So I guess you can't travel with, a couple of families and rent a big size house and just enjoy the weekend together as a family. That's not going to work. If you had, some brothers and sisters and they're married and their kids and whatever, nope, not going to be able to do that. Get this one. Now, who in their right mind would want to rent Airbnb if this one goes into play? Host presence. Hosts are required to be physically present while their properties are being rented. Come on, guys. Do you want to share your weekend trip with the Airbnb host and the guy who owns the property? You want them tagging along and being there? Another one. Unlocked doors. Hosts and visitors must leave the interior doors within the rental unlocked, allowing occupants to access the entire unit. So I guess, if you're in there at night into the master bedroom, you can't lock the door at night so you can spend some time with your, significant person there and not be bothered by kids or someone else just happened to walk in. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And who's going to police that? I mean, what? They're going to come knocking on the door? Oh, okay, we're going to come in and check and make sure all them interior doors aren't unlocked. And on and on and on. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But hey, this is not about housing prices and on and on and on like they're trying to talk about. Oh, well, the reason housing prices are so high in New York City is because of all the investors and renting out the properties. Come on, that is a small percentage of the reason why prices are high in New York City. Let's be honest. But you got them out there, and they're out there to literally, like a lot of people like us that have made a few bucks in, this space. Well, they've gone out and they've reinvested in other asset classes like real property. And when you think about that, and you're setting it up and you're running like, an Airbnb business, and it's a legitimate business, guys, to be sure. And there's lots of things that a lot of people, hey, it brings in tax revenue and all this kind of stuff. But no, they're wanting to kibosh that. And it often makes me wonder when you see these big centers do this, what is it? Is it like the hotel lobbyist group are out against all the Airbnbs, and now the politicians that they have in their pocket are coming out with these kind of ordinances, just to protect this group over here? Come on, that's more than likely my estimation what's really going down. But the thing is that they just absolutely just put these policies in place. here we are in a situation where a lot of people have had to transition from jobs and figure out new ways to make an income. And so, hey, they might be operating a little bit of an Airbnb so they can have enough dough to get by and actually make the mortgage payment. But instead, nope, we're just going to go and make it so it's nigh on impossible for them to do it. They can't outright ban it, of course, right? But boy, they can put regulations in that absolutely are intended to kill the industry. And you can't tell me that these ones right here that we just talked about wouldn't kill Airbnb. And I believe that that's the intent. Now, guys, I don't know if many of you that are out there are Airbnbers out in New York City even knew that this was coming down the pike. But since it has, boy, I'll tell you what, I'd be getting down there and filing petitions and everything else in City Hall to get the whole thing overturned and find out what's the genuine rationale behind these kind of ordinances and how on earth are they protecting, as they like to say, merchants and people out there and on and on and on. They're really not. What they're out there doing is protecting all their buddies in the big business side of the hotel industry. That's probably what's going on. And it's just absolutely obscene. Every time somebody out there in an innovative way really makes some inroads that saves people big time dollars, boy, oh boy, do they ever get attacked. Look what happened with Uber and all of that kind of stuff and all the other ride sharing, programs out there where people were able to make an extra few bucks and all this and this and that. And then all the lobbyists for all the taxis that have, had a monopoly basically on the whole deal. Boy, they just came out in droves and just attacked it, and just kind of beat it down. And so in some places, you don't even have those options anymore. Lyft or Uber aren't even there because they've been just so pummeled in some centers and some major, hubs and municipalities. So they're not even available. And this is what's going on. Look, we have got to change with innovation. We have got, this Airbnb, when Airbnb has been out for a good while now, right? Of course. And, when you think about that, hey, there was somebody with, what an amazing and fantastic, business model. And, went out there and turned it into something amazing where a lot of other people could come on board and absolutely start a small business and really do decently for themselves without having to have millions upon millions of dollars to go out and do it. And that's how the economy works. Now, we need to take the reins off of, should there be regulation? Yes. Safety standards, of course, and on and on and on and all that, and privacy provisions, obviously. No one wants to go be renting a place where they're under constant video surveillance everywhere they go and all that. Get that. There needs to be some kind of oversight, but the market needs to be free so it can grow, so it can innovate, so it can evolve, so it can change. And, when we see it evolving, and of course, the main players that are already the establishment, if you will, do they want to see innovation and growth like this? Well, of course they don't. Why? Because it cuts into their bottom line. And so they want to get entrenched in there, and they got the bucks to do it because they've been around for a while. They've made all their profit and all that. Now they're going to cement their position in there by lobbying for all these kind of ordinances and rules and laws that absolutely kill competition. Guys, that is not what America is all about. America is about invention and innovation, going out there, building up a free market, and going out there literally competing in the economy. Now, having said that about competition, listen, I have heard so many people say, oh, well, thus and such is doing this. Is that going to kill XRP and Ripple because they're doing it, and on and on and on, and stuff like that? Never, guys, never, not ever fear competition. Competition is not to be feared. Hey, competition is like the cure for complacency, isn't it? Because it gets people out there. It keeps them sharp. If there's no competition, hey, look, you don't have any worry about losing market. You get a little bit of dull, and you can allow things to get a little old and dusty and not really perform the way they used to. That's not the case when there's competition. Competition, it spurs us on. It spurs us on to be better, to think of new and innovative ways of getting the same job done, of, being out there and providing the best service possible. And it keeps us accountable to our consumers in that regard because we don't want them jumping ship and going to the competition. Don't fear competition. Now, having said that, I intend on doing a video to really explain this whole XRP Plus deal because a lot of misconception is out there about what it really is. In fact, one of my commenters was saying, wow, it's pretty disgusting in a way that Ripple went out there and launched a new XRP Plus. Well, guys, that's kind of the confusion that's going out there because Ripple didn't launch it. It actually was created by XRP Labs, and it's totally own blockchain. I think it's pronounced Zhao or something like that. But look, I'm going to get into that, and maybe even today, I don't know, we'll figure out what a good time is, but I'm going to show you how it's absolutely nothing for us to fear with respect to XRP, and in fact, even complements the XRP ledger with hooks, almost or mainly like a sidechain in and of itself. And so there's a lot of good things about it, and something I don't think that any of us should have to fear. But that's my point. Look, don't fear competition. Embrace it because it actually brings about great change and innovation. And these legislators that are putting these rules forth, come on, stop being so disingenuous and, putting it out there to literally destroy an industry. That's what's really going down. And it's not about protecting consumers. Let's be honest about that. It's about protecting the establishment. That's usually what it is. But if you didn't know about it, hey, I'm going to link the article right into this video so you can see it for yourself. It's truly amazing. But when I read that, that's exactly what I thought. This is not about consumer protection. This is about establishment protection. And boy, in this digital asset space, have we not seen that? Remember our old, free pass speech by Bill Hinman and then kiboshing, or jumping all over and suing Ripple and all that, how XRP was a security and blah, 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 and on and on and on. That, of course, as we know, had nothing to do with, protecting consumers like the SEC says, does it? Because when we had representation, the SEC comes out, the people that they're suing Ripple, right? Because they're out there to protect the investor. And when, John Deaton came out there and he wanted to put in his Amethyst security, they fought against it saying, hey, all the investors are Ripple. They have Ripple to defend them. What? Are you kidding? The people that you say you're protecting us against are the ones that are supposed to protect us. That's the nonsense that's coming out of the SEC all the time. And this is why, guys, we just have to be sharp and see through the malarkey that they try to feed us out here. So I'll tell you what. Anyway, guys, I sure hope you're having an absolutely fantastic Wednesday. And we got an amazing video for you. Until later on today, I sure hope you're having a great one, and take care.